I cannot. Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are somewhere in the middle. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Angie.
Today we are looking at how to love without losing yourself. So, have you ever lost yourself in love, Angela?
In every relationship I've ever been in until now.
Oh, fun times, apparently. Give us an example.
You don't have to make that face now. Listen, our viewers haven't seen us in a while. They forgot how mean you are to me.
They haven't.
Facts. I think a lot of times when there's a lack of self-love, you find a partner, right? So you meet a guy and you don't love yourself and you're dating him, and then all of a sudden everything that he wants, his needs become your primary focus, right? Because you're trying to create a version of you that doesn't exist, and that comes from lack of self-love, right? It comes from not having any hobbies of your own, any goals of your own, any other life outside of him. So you meet this dude, you throw everything into him because you don't have anything of your own to stand on. And so I found myself for years when I got into these relationships, just kind of adapting to what I thought that, they needed or what they needed me to be, because I didn't have my own personal goals. I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have anything, an outlet, right?
It became your hobby.
He became my hobby. Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like fun. I was racking my brain on this one. I don't know that I have any personal experience with this. I think we kind of took the have your own to the extreme. We always kind of were, I guess, I picked up somewhere that I needed to have my own, which included my own life, my own thoughts and goals and ambitions and hobbies and
Right.
whatever. I don't know.
Do
And
you think do you think when you becoming a parent later in life than me had an impact on you developing a life independent of a dude?
I think that me being who I was a influential in me becoming a parent later in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think I wasn't gonna allow that to make me into something that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a parent. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be what I was. I wanted to be educated. I wanted to be free, and I wanted to be out in these streets, and I wanted, freedom. You know what I'm saying? I knew what it looked like to be a parent because I had, women in my family who, even my mom, she was a teen parent, but she was a mama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a mama, but she was out in them streets. She was doing this. She might have did all that when we went to bed, but she was a mom. So I knew what that was. I had, a sister who was a teen parent, a cousin who was a teen parent. I knew what that looked like. That wasn't me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had a big idea of who I was, and that wasn't me. So I guess that idea or that concept kind of transformed into me waiting. By the time I was 32 and pregnant, I was like, okay, well, I done everything. So I might well try to sit down somewhere for a kid, that sort of thing. So
I remember those days.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you had a front row seat.
I was devastated. What you mean you pregnant? How are we gonna go? Anyway.
Right. Anyway, the drama.
Back to the topic at hand.
Right. So no, I don't think I have any experience with that, but I do know a lot of ladies who can identify. I know a lot of you all are out there who can identify with losing yourself, finding yourself, once you're out of the relationship, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go because the relationship is ended. And I think that includes the relationship of mother and child.
Mm-hmm.
Once your nest is empty, then who are you? Once you're not in that relationship, who are you? Where do you start? Where do you begin? Right. So we kind of discussed how it happens. You kind of stated that it kind of has something to do with not having a life or of your own, or not having a realm of your own that you can call your own.
Mhm.
So with that, how do you prevent it? How do you keep from immersing yourself into another person, be it your spouse, even your job, or
Right.
your child, or whatever?
Right. I think that's a very like loaded question because I mean we could do a whole topic on that. That's a lot to unpack. Um, I think how you prevent it from happening is you spend some time with you, alone with you, not being somebody's mama, not being somebody's daughter, not being somebody's wife, girlfriend, or whatever, not having any other titles but the title of being whoever you are.
Mm.
Um, that has to start first, right? Because if you don't know what you like and what you know, how do you begin? And the pandemic was very eye-opening for me, being I had created this life for myself, and then when the pandemic happened, all of a sudden I had all this alone time that was just thrusting upon me, and I didn't know what to do with it. So if you notice my paintings on the back wall, I learned to paint. I bought a camera. I took photography classes. I learned how to take pictures. I tried to play an instrument. I don't have any coordination. That didn't work out. I was trying to I was playing a ukulele. Anyway, side point. But trying to figure out, what did Angela like to do? How did Angela like her eggs? I've been cooking somebody's eggs for 25 years, and then all of a sudden, I don't really like my eggs scrambled. I've been scrambling them all this time, but it was spending time alone with myself um, that I discovered what I like to do, and what brought me joy. And I think now that I'm in a relationship, I can hold those things a little closer and a little tighter because I enjoy them. And my boyfriend wants to go somewhere, but I want to read my book. I enjoy. This is the second series of a book of whatever. Or I got a photography class. I got some people who are allowing me to take pictures of them. I got something to do that takes not necessarily a priority, but that's important to me that I'm gonna do first, and then I'm gonna make time for the other stuff. So I think you got to spend some time alone with you to know what you like and figure it out. Try a bunch of things, and then from there you can feed whatever it is that spikes your interest.
Do you think if you're a young person watching this, would you say, if you don't have a good grasp of who you are as an individual, you should maybe hold off on serious relationships, or should you just jump in and figure it out as you go?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I think if you're a young person, I think you should hold off. I think I think spending time with yourself, you are going to be in the longest relationship with you. That's the relationship you're going to have the longest and the most important one. So it's the one that you definitely got to give priority to. I think what's meant to be is going to be. If it's for you, the universe, the God, whatever you believe in, is not going to let you miss it. And I think a lot of young people, they have babies from these dudes that's not their husbands. They have these lifelong attachments to people who are not meant to be in their lives forever, and that causes detriment to three different people: the kid, them, and the other person.
And
uh,
growth, period.
Facts. So yeah, I spend time with you. And I met a young kid at my job recently, and he was like 19. He had got a good job. He was making a bunch of money, and somehow we got on the conversation of relationships. And I told him, I was like, find some hobbies. That's what you need to do. Whether it's becoming a personal trainer, going to the gym, come to find out he liked to fix up old cars. Buy you a couple of old cars. Make sure that you have an identity and something positive, whether it's golf or whatever it is. There's a whole list of hobbies out there to do, but spend some time with you and figuring out what you like to do, because you need to be able to channel this energy. Got this job, you making all this money, you'll make poor decisions, and you'll spend it on loose women and alcohol, if you don't have some direction. So
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea. I mean, I don't want to group all young people. I think there are definitely some young people out there like myself, who had a full understanding of who I was and who I wasn't, and but um I think those people are pretty much gonna hopefully not let somebody else derail them into a life that's not in their vision, you know.
Preach. Preach, sister.
Anywho, so I think you can prevent it. You can prevent losing yourself. You got to know who yourself is. You have to have yourself established before you invest all your time, energy, passion, commitment into somebody else who may or may not serve you, yourself that you've designed yourself to be.
Facts. But I think that we need to also add the piece too, that what you like can change and evolve. So you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into thinking that, if I pick this one thing, it has to be this one thing, all the time. And it don't have to be anything. You may not ever decide to pick up a hobby. You may want to be a mother and have 86 kids and 52 cats. And that's perfectly okay. But make sure that it's your choice and not somebody else's choice. And I think that's the point that I want people to know. It's fine what you choose as long as you chose it. I unfortunately, I had hopes and dreams and ambitions, and I was forced into a different life. I had a parallel life for decisions that, weren't just mine, and I didn't know how to, fix them. And we'll talk about that on another show. And I let other people's decisions of dictate how my life was going to go. So I found myself trying to pick up the pieces 20 years later, after my daughter was an adult, trying to rediscover my youth again. So don't learn from me. Don't do it.
Or do it.
Or do
it. You turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I'm amazing.
Okay, what's in that cup? Don't tell us. Anyway. All right, guys. Leave us a note in the comments. Let us know what you think about the topic. If you think we missed something, if we missed something critical, or if we hit a note that you think might be helpful, let us know. Like, subscribe, all of those things. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.